Oh, suspiciously wealthy. Oh my god, $500 for a single headshot. That's crazy. This one guy bought a Lambo for furry art. Oh, just furry art. God, that's crazy. All the money is in the furries. That's oh my gosh. It's everywhere. Everywhere. Constantly, all the time, and it's super exhausting. We've all seen it. You're probably here because you've said it. Where you're like, oh man, gotta learn to do furry art so I can make the monies, the dollars. Oh man, guess I'll have to fucking draw furries if I want to make the monies and the dollars off of my art, because not drawing furries ain't working. Welcome to your rude awakening. Hi, I'm Vex, and I've been a furry artist for over 10 years. Who has been a while. My name is pronounced Vexstacy. I am a non-binary LGBTQ. I'm a lot. That being said, here's the thing. When I first joined the fandom, I was barely making $5 off of my art. And that was because your boy couldn't draw. And that is going to be true no matter what fandom you join. If you think you just gonna suddenly start drawing My Little Pony and making bank, but your My Little Ponies look like they're struggling for their life, rude awakening. So it literally goes for anywhere and anything. So it's not happening overnight. I don't know who told you this. I don't know why you think this. But the people that you're seeing, that are doing really well in the fandom have probably been in the fandom for years and been drawing for years, which is literally no different from some of the most successful artists that you can think of outside of the furry fandom. So seems like the common denominator here is consistency, effort, and practice. But y'all don't want to have that conversation. So moving on. If you're already struggling with human anatomy, why do you think adding the elements of then needing to learn how to draw paws, claws, fangs, teeth, maws, noses, wolf faces, leopard faces, tails, wings? I'm just, feel like the logistics of it. It's not innately easier. If anything, it's harder. Now I know some furries watching this are like, actually drawing humans is harder for me. Listen, I was that person until I realized I was saying that while having zero idea how to draw any type of animal actually. So what I thought was easier only seemed easier because I was enjoying what I was doing. But as far as the outcome, no, I was still struggling. So for an example, let me just give you my timeline real quick. Like I said, I think I said, been defended for over 10 years. And I started out barely able to sell my art for $5. Do you think I came out the gate wanting to only sell it for $5? You would be confused and wrong if you said yes. I definitely tried to price my art at least $20, but that wasn't $20 worth of work. So I had to come to terms with the fact that it's probably only gonna do the numbers that it was actually able to do. Now, I'm not going to get into pricing because that's a heated topic every single time. I'll link my guide to how I feel about pricing and all the various factors that go into it, etc., etc. And also, controversially, why I would disagree that my art from 10 plus years ago, being priced at $5 is causing problems for me now selling my art for $70 plus. That was two totally different markets. Two totally different stores. No, like, you can go to the Dollar Tree, you can go to Walmart, and you can go to blank, and all of them get a lot of business for different reasons, but there is going to be a quality difference a good chunk of the time between what you're getting. And it's basically like that. Walmart ain't putting the Dollar Tree out of business, the Dollar Tree ain't putting Walmart out of business, and neither of them things is putting, depending on what you're buying, like Gap or Lowe's out of business. So yeah, but that, there's that. So there's also the whole air of acting like you're stooping. You know what I mean? I guess I'm gonna have to stoop to drawing. You gotta stoop to shit. If I say what I want to say, it's gonna be problems. So let me put it this way. Every single avenue in the art world has some place that you can carve out a space for yourself. Whether that's because you want to do horror art, or if you want to do really cutesy art, if you want to draw humans, if you want to draw landscapes, if you want to draw just boats. It's a choice, but I would honestly say there's probably a market for it somewhere. There is more than one way to cross the finish line, whatever that looks like for you. The fact that you think you have to do something you don't want to do it is you making a decision. Nobody's telling you to do that. Also, if you do choose to go that route and then you are stuck, now you are stuck doing this thing because you are going to get commissioned for what people begin to know you for. I need you to expound your mind for a second and think about how I'm saying that in multiple different ways. I'll give you an example even. So sometimes I would get it's really interesting how sometimes you take a batch of commissions and it'll all be this similar species. And so I cranked out a few dragons in over the span of a couple of months. And of course people started showing up wait a minute, let me get some more dragon. I was like, I don't want to do that. I won't do that. I had to put a cap on that. And that was only over the course of a couple of months. Now imagine you start doing furry art. You don't even want to draw furries, but you're doing it for the dollars. And you start, you're doing it for a year or two. And then all of a sudden you thinking, all right, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to segue into opening my human commissions. What I've always wanted to do. Okay. Unless you've been cultivating that on the side. No, absolutely not. That's not going to work for you the way you think it is. You might be able to get roughly 10 to 20% of whatever audience you've garnered to be interested in those commissions from you. But I've been there. I have posted, I've, started drawing humans and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna share this. My furry art, let's just use small numbers here. Furry art would get 50 likes. My human art would get 1. Because I was posting it to an audience I had cultivated around furries. And these are community members that have furry characters that like to look at furry characters. So, of course, the human comes across the page and I get it. From an artist perspective, you're thinking good art is good art. People should like it regardless. Yes, I hear you. But at the same time, there's a reason we don't go to Wendy's for pizza. I would. But the average person would squint at that. You get known for doing something, and that's what people want from you. The other side of that, the more tangible side, if somebody wants to make this, make an argument here, the odds of you having enough examples in your gallery switching over to human art is slim. Again, unless you were cultivating that on the side, and if you were, then you're probably fine with whatever other account you got going on over there. If you're able to draw double time like that, power to you. But if all you've been doing is furry art and now you want to start opening humans, well, I don't know what you can and can't handle human wise. So I could see you draw one human and like it, but that doesn't mean I'm a commissioner as much as I am an artist. That don't mean I'm going to commission you off of one example. I don't know how you handle curly hair. I don't know how you handle black facial features. I don't know how you handle glasses. I don't know how you handle eyebrows. I don't know enough about this part of you to feel confident in commissioning you to do this thing. So that also has an effect. Your portfolio is now effectively 2 years of furry work that you thought you were only doing in the meantime, in the between time, just to hold it over. Now, if you love both furries and human art, then yes, please come get good. We are more than happy to have you. I'm always looking for people with interesting and new furry art styles. Like, yes, but it's just when people act like it's stooping to something to do it, just makes me super mad. It's irritating. Like, you don't have to be here. Also, another thing, and this, talking to y'all furry community, I'm talking to my community now. Y'all gotta stop telling people that the only way to make money is not safe for work art. I don't want to turn this into a 45-minute long video, but let me make this as simple as possible. You can't post not safe for work on Facebook. You cannot post not safe for work art on a lot of subreddits. You can't post not safe for work art on Amino. You can't post not safe for work art on a lot of discords. You can't post not safe for work. Now, yes, community specific discords, yes, but I'm talking about the wide majority, especially the really big communities. They actually have that bot on there that will stop you from doing that. So right there and then there is already a difference in reach capability, not to mention where you can sell your art at. If you decide to sell at conventions, or if you want to do small local festivals, they do not always necessarily allow not safe for work art. Now, don't get me wrong. I like me some spicy tamale art, but I'm just letting y'all know it's very frustrating when we perpetuate the whole just know that it's only going to make you dollars and dimes if you do not safe for work. That's just not true. You know, you can draw your first, like, I know a lot of people who are interested in slice of life. Now, that ain't me. I don't consider my artwork not safe for work. I can post it anywhere. I've shared it with people out in the real world. You know, there are some places that have been like, oh no, woman in bikini, my good sensibilities. Like, all right, like, I don't know how do you walk past a Victoria's Secret and keep your shit together is beyond me. But like, that's like the extent of my art is, for the most part, it's just babes in bikinis. Yeah. So there's that. You could go that route. Why people will stupid brain and be like, nah, that's not safe for work too. Where is going to the beach not safe for work, my guy? Like, the posing matters and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, clothes is on. So that's how I feel about that. But like, yeah, you can definitely do a lot with safe for work art. I really don't like that it's perpetuated that you have to go straight down the not safe for work rabbit hole, because touching back on what I previously said, if that ends up being what you do and it's not what you want to do, you're doing it because you feel like you have to do it. That's a totally separate scenario, because now, and I've seen artists end up in this situation where now you have to try to backpedal when you decide, okay, I don't want to do this anymore and I don't want to take these commissions anymore, but you've built this fan base on this thing, and that is what your regulars, the people who keep coming back to you, they're coming to you for this thing because you've shown that you have the ability to do this thing in a way that they like, and so they are choosing you to take care of that for them, to draw that for them. So, you know, all of a sudden you're like, that's not what I want to do anymore. Okay, well, damn, where I'm supposed to go now for the art that I was so used to getting from you, that I loved from you. And like, yeah, some people might stick around for the rebrand, but just know that it's oftentimes a difficult transition unless you've already garnered a super massive following from what you were doing, and then like the loss of 50% of your following is just like a drop, because you'd still come out with, 50K 70K followers, and you still would have commissions on top of that. So I'm not saying it's impossible to transition over. I'm just saying, think about the fact that you probably gonna have to do it for a while before you are able to not do it anymore. Also, again, for me personally, it's kind of weird to be like, I'm gonna do this thing that I don't really want to do for dollars. I mean, at that point, you could go work a regular with the same mentality. So, I'm just saying. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to touch on that. It's a frequently brought up topic, and I see it a lot. And, at some point, I'm gonna go into detail in the video about like how I increased my prices and blah blah blah, and like talk about that journey. But really, I just wanted to talk about the whole I'm gonna draw furries for money, get rich fast scheme. You're not. Like, unless you coming out the gate swinging with, Mark Brunette level skill, Dave Greco level skill, and yeah, then you probably could come out the gate swinging. You probably could, just immediately start charging, $2,000 for a scene or something like that. But outside of those scenarios, in most of the situations where I'm seeing people say stuff like this, they're just starting out. They're upset because they barely scraping the bottom of the bucket for change for their commission. I've been that person. Don't come for me. I'm literally speaking from being that person. Except I love drawing furries. So like, there was never really a switch over for me. That was always how I first started taking commissions. And even then I was struggling. So like, people think they're just going to hop on in and the water's going to be fine. And then they find out like, wait, it's really not that much easier over here. So just, food for thought. Anyway, I'm Vex. Thanks for sticking around if you did. Hopefully this was enlightening. Send this to a friend the next time they say, or a stranger, I don't care. The next time they're like, I'm gonna draw furries for money fast. Yeah, no, please.